Good morning. Welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church West. I'm the Reverend Suzelle Lynch, and I'm here this morning with Dave Cicero, our Lifespan Director of Religious Education, and our special guest vocalist, Adlai Kim. Behind the scenes, we have Jennifer Nicolosi, our lead music director on recorded piano accompaniment, Kelly Bognar, our publications coordinator on camera and director duty, and Miles Bognar staffing the sound system. It's good to be here with this great team and with all of you. As we gather, I'd like to share some words with you that are adapted from something written by my friend and colleague, the Reverend Erica Hewitt. We gather, with some of us bringing our best selves to this place, and some of us bringing our struggling selves. All of us are welcome here, and all of us are loved. Some of us already have open hearts, and some of us aren't quite there yet because our hearts have gotten a little beat up this week. Practicing social distancing due to the coronavirus is hard work. Figuring out how we can stay in touch and who we can touch is challenging. All of our hearts are welcome here, no matter how open or how bruised. We know that this way of worship is imperfect, but we're here to embrace it, to drop our defenses and trust that what happens when we pause to shape worth together can be powerful and life-giving. Together, we affirm that this day and being together can make each of us braver, wiser, and more compassionate. Since we're gathering today as a community of all ages, Dave is going to lead us now in our children's chalice lighting song.
If you have some young ones among you, they'll know the hand motions to this and can lead you in it. Please join. We light this chalice to celebrate. We are Unitarians. We light this chalice to celebrate. We are Universalists. We are the church of the open mind. We are the church of the helping hands. We are the church of the loving heart. We're you.
Thursday was spring equinox, that time when daylight and nighttime are equal in length, and spring begins officially. The virus canceled our original Spring Songfest plans with our adult choir and our multi-generational choir and soloists, but with the birds singing and nesting all around us, we couldn't help but celebrate the power of music and the coming of spring today anyway. We hope you enjoy the songs and reflections that we have for you, and we hope that at the end of the service you'll step outdoors and take a deep breath or two to bring spring into your body and soul. So we're going to begin our Spring Songfest now by singing together hymn 63, Spring Has Now Unwrapped the Flowers. And if you downloaded the order of service from the e-news, we hope you'll pull that out now and use the music there.
Spring has now unwrapped the flowers, day is fast reviving, life in all her growing powers, toward the light is striving, on the iron touch of cold, winter time and frost time, seed the
Music. It's all around us, accompanying every stage and phase of our lives, weaving its melodies and harmonies along and all around our lives' pathways. It makes us smile or brings tears to our eyes. It heals us and stirs us up and brings life and beauty to the events of our personal and collective worlds. Music carries culture. It's part of every known civilization on the planet. It's a mystery, too. Animals produce music for reasons of survival, but human beings, for us, music serves other and otherworldly purposes. It touches our hearts as no other art can, gilding the everyday with the brushstrokes of the holy. And music even allows us to transcend time. Think about it. Most of us have experienced the way a particular song brings up memories, transporting us to another time or season. And I know so many of us have felt a sudden rush of emotion when we hear a particular song or a piece of music, or even perhaps a feeling of transcendence. I first experienced that sense of transcendence in music when I was just a little girl. The modest orchestra in my hometown had special symphony concerts just for kids. The conductor, Mr. Gideon Grau, hailed from Argentina. With his delightful Argentinian accent and the help of a funny little hand puppet wearing a beret named Mr. Offbeat, Mr. Grau captured my 8-year-old heart. He invited me and all the other children there to listen closely to composers like Brahms and Beethoven. He said, focus your thoughts and tune into certain themes in this music. Listen for the sound of waves on the shore. Listen for the wind in tree branches. The kettle drums were thunder, the flutes were a silver thread of birdsong. Listening this way, I could feel my heart flying out of my chest and dancing in the air between the layered notes. Do you remember the music that first sent your spirit soaring? Think about that for a moment. And now perhaps we have music that could send your spirit soaring today.
Bright is the ring of woods when the right man rings them. Fair the fall of songs when the singer sings them. Still they are caroled and said, on wings they are carried. After the singer is dead, and the maker buried. Lo, as the singer lies in the field of heather, songs of his fashion bring the swains together, and when the west is red with the sunset embers, our love lingers and sings, and the maid remembers.
Why does music have such power? Scientists and theologians alike have wondered about this for centuries. Why does music speak to our souls so strongly? Recent research using brain scans shows that virtually every area of the brain becomes more active when we listen to music. And of course, studies have shown that music often awakens memories in people who are suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's. And researchers from the Centre for Music, Mind and Well-Being at the University of Melbourne, Australia, have explained that the transcendence we sometimes experience when hearing music has to do with the different musical patterns and the way they are encoded in our brains. So they're encoded in our brains, and when we hear those patterns again, our brains anticipate the unfolding of the pattern, and we experience a rush of pleasure as our anticipation and the sound meet. But there's another science-based theory about the power of music. Dr. Richard Parncut, head of the Center for Systematic Musicology at the University of Graz in Austria, believes that the link between music and spirituality may stem from our time in our mother's womb, when we perceived her godlike, embracing presence through the rhythm of her heartbeat and the sound of her voice. It's entirely possible that we are wired from before birth to experience a powerful feeling of oneness through music.
So, why sing? I myself have been more of a musician throughout my life and have always kind of taken a pass traditionally when it came time to sing, but I've taken a new outlook on that in recent years. I'm not a trained vocalist at all. However, I've come to understand singing not to be a performance necessarily, but participation in what's going on around me. So I've embraced that and have done better about practicing and actually singing with others. And why not, right? We all can sing. We've been singing before we were speaking, if you think about it. Oh, hey, oh, you know. As a baby, we vocalize. Scientists have even considered physical evidence that our skulls and our vocal cords are there and we can make music. And we were probably doing that before we were forming them into meaningful sounds. But if you're someone who needs more convincing, how about this? Singing is good for you. Try this with me. I just want you to sit up straight or stand up. Put your hand on your sternum right there. And then just say, ah, ah. Feel that? Okay, now try this. Put your second hand right above that one. Ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh. Ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh. What's happening there? Do you feel it moving? You're actually giving yourself an internal massage there as the vibrations move throughout your body. So it's good for your body. And singing makes us breathe too. We know that's good for us. Now try this. Ah. Great. Now try this. Ah. Now try this. Ah. How about this? Ah. So this was just a very short bit of practice, but perhaps just in those different tones, you were getting different feelings within your soul, so to speak. Feelings in your heart. So singing music can help lift our hearts, can help express sad feelings, different emotions and that sort of thing. Now, we can also assign specific meanings to our music and our song. We opened today, and last week we sang this meditation on breathing. And in repeating those thoughts through song, we can actually instill confidence that in our minds of reaffirming thoughts, of positive thinking, that will help us intellectualize and think about that. So we've connected our body, our vibrations, our spirit and our heart, and our mind. With the yoga practice that I've done, again, not an expert, but something that I've experienced, I've really learned that integrating that body, mind, and spirit is a really important thing. And you can do that through song. It connects with yourself, but also when you sing with others, as hopefully you'll be doing today as we participate in this online worship service, you'll also be connecting with others, which is a great thing. So, sing a song. Sing out loud. Don't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing. Sing a song.
So from that time of singing practice, let's move into a time of meditation. I have some words from my colleague, the Reverend George Tiger, to share. He calls this a springtime prayer. So I invite you to center yourself in mind and body and breathe in a way that's comfortable for you as you listen to his words, which get us in touch with the beauty and power of springtime. Spirit of life and love, breathing in us and through us and all around us. We name you today as the power of springtime, the spirit of green grasses and warm breezes, as the goddess of creativity, of birth, of life renewed. We hear you singing all around us now. The birds call your sacred name. The sun reaches higher into the sky, shining the light of this new day through the windows of your cathedral, the blue planet Earth, all around us. O power of springtime, forgive us our speediness. Forgive us for racing through the days and missing the myriad miracles of the world that we share. Remind us to open our eyes to your warmth and open our hearts to your beauty. Slow us down, power of spring, with awe and wonder. Help us find here in these moments of quiet the grace of green grasses and warm breezes. Help us breathe into our bodies the spirit of spring. Breathe in, breathe out. Shalom, blessed be, Ashe, and Amen. I want to tell you a little story now about the feeling of oneness in music. For 10 years after I graduated from high school, I never set foot in the UU church of my childhood, and really not much in any Unitarian Universalist church anywhere, unless I was visiting my parents back home in Michigan. Then, when I was 27, my longing for a community, not just of earning money, but a community of meaning, drove me to the doors of University Unitarian Church in Seattle, which is where I lived at the time. It was 10 times the size of the church I grew up in, and walking into that huge sanctuary full of strangers was pretty intimidating. So I hid in one of the back rows. And I hoped nobody would talk to me. But when the first hymn began, when they began to sing that first hymn, I knew that I was home. 1,000 miles away from the place where I was raised, in a room full of people I'd never met, they were singing one of my favorite hymns from childhood. We would be one, as now we join in singing. The power of that song gave me such a feeling of oneness, a feeling of being at home. And it brought me back to the Unitarian Universalist Church for life. That one hymn, the power of music, changed the entire course of my life. Theology has its own perspective on music, of course. The iconic Reformation theologian Martin Luther held that music was second only in importance to the Word of God contained in the Bible. He believed that music originated in the sphere of miraculous audible things. And words were miraculous because they carry God's voice. So music, which can carry words, was therefore a primary vehicle for worship. I feel Luther's joy and wonder when I sing, even though his God and mine are not the same. Some years ago, I had the opportunity to sing with a 100-voice gospel choir, and my section sang this part: I've been changed, the angels up in heaven done called my name. Now, of course, that's not my theology, but singing those words at the top of my voice with the full commitment of my heart and soul changed me. Instead of being a solo voice surrounded by other soloists, I was one with an immense, awe-inspiring musical force.
Today is World Water Day, a special day that encourages us to think about water and climate change and how the two are linked. It reminds us that water is one of the great forces of nature, and the way we use water is part of that climate change. It reminds us that using water more efficiently will reduce the greenhouse gases that cause global warming. We can protect the health of our planet and save living things by the way we use water. So World Water Day is also the beginning of Earth Month, which ends on April 22nd, which also happens to be the 50th anniversary of the first Earth Day, which took place in 1970. There are a lot of things we can do to use water better. You can go to worldwaterday.org to learn more. In the meantime, we have a song for you that celebrates the natural cycle of water. We hope you enjoy it, and please, of course, join in. The lines repeat and overlap, so pick up where you like and sing along.
Might I have
And the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round.
I have the wrong key, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We can make do too.
Sorry.
And the wheel. And the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the wheel of the water go round and around.
cloud the skies.
and the
See
wheel of
the
the water go
vapors
round and
rise.
around, and the
See
wheel of the
them
water
cloud
go
the
round,
skies.
and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the
Springs
wheel of the
bubble,
water
bubble,
go
bubble up.
round and around, and the
Springs
wheel of the
bubble,
water
bubble,
go
bubble up.
round, and the
Springs
wheel of the
bubble,
water
bubble, bubble
go
up.
round and around, and the
Springs
wheel of the
bubble,
water
bubble,
go
bubble up.
round, and the
Springs
wheel of the
bubble,
water
bubble,
go
bubble up.
round and around, and the
Springs
wheel of the
bubble,
water
bubble,
go
bubble
round.
up.
And the
See
wheel
the
of the water
vapors
go round and
rise.
around, and the
See
wheel of
them
the
cloud
water
the
go
skies.
and the
See
wheel of
the
the water
vapors
go round and
rise.
around, and the
See
wheel
them
of the water
cloud
go
the
round.
skies.
And the
See
wheel
the
of the water
vapors
goes round and
rise.
around, and the
See
wheel of
them
the water
from the
goes round,
skies.
and the
See
wheel of
the
the water
vapors
goes round and
rise.
around, and the
See
wheel of
them
the water
cloud the
goes round,
skies.
and the
Springs
wheel of
bubble,
the water
bubble, bubble
goes
up.
round and around, and the
Springs
wheel of
bubble,
the water
bubble, bubble
goes
up.
round, and the
See
wheel of
the
the water
vapors
goes round and
rise.
around, and the
See
wheel of
them
the
cloud
water
the
goes round.
skies.
And the
See
wheel
the
of the water
vapors
goes round and
rise.
around, and the
See
wheel of
the
the water
oceans
goes
trickle down.
and the wheel of the water goes round and around, and the wheel of the water goes round, and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round, and the wheel of the water go round and around, and the wheel of the water go round.
Michael Jackson once said, "As the music plays, it creates me. The instruments move me, through me, they control me." Pianist Jessica Williams wrote, "At the piano alone, the music plays through me and runs from my fingers like water over stones." Many of those who make music have noted how it leads them to move beyond themselves, to transcend themselves. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, words are important, sometimes too important. That's because we come from the radical branch of the same Protestant Reformation sparked by Martin Luther back in 1517, that Reformation that liberated God from the control of the priests. A Reformation that moved the holy out into the world of regular people via those printed words on the pages of the Bible. And truly, though we Unitarian Universalists appreciate and honor the words of reflections and sermons and readings, what opens our hearts is music. Music opens our hearts so the words can enter in and heal us and inspire us. So whether we're making music or listening to it, it's possible for any one of us to touch into a universal flow, to know ourselves as part of something larger than we can see, something larger than words can name. So we invite you to touch into that universal flow now. We're going to sing a chant called "Let the Way Be Open." Some of you might remember this from our Imbolc service at the end of January. Sing with us. The words are in your order of service if you have that. Sing through my voice, play through my hands, let the way be open. Sing through my voice, play through my hands, let the way be open. Sing through my voice, So we close with these words and extinguish our chalice. Music is powerful, a universal language, a nectar that fills the cup of life. It's a force that unites us and opens us to life's larger mysteries. Especially in our times, music can touch our hearts, ignite our passions, and soothe our souls. On this day and all days, may we know the power and comfort of music. Shalom, blessed be, Ashe.